gentlemen, and welcome to the Oddities D&D. We are back! We are back with a brand new campaign for everybody. Oh my god. It has been too long since we've been here. So good to be back. So happy to see all these beautiful faces again. Oh my gosh. Way too long. Already see some familiar names in the chat room. So thankful that you guys showed up for the premiere here. I'm so stoked in case you haven't noticed. But enough about me. Let's go around and introduce all the players at the table tonight. Starting in this corner up here, Miss Ari, would you like to introduce yourself?
Bro. Imagine it's the full moon and you feel weird and you're like, oh shit, is it that alpha wolf about to bust free? And you just turn into Justin Bieber. I'm Ari and it's so good to be back.
Oh
my god, what does that mean?
I offer you riddles for this first game.
I honestly missed the generational confusion that is Ari and her speech.
Who the fuck is Justin Bieber?
Exactly. Let's start there and work
he's the guy
backwards.
who invited Tim Biebs, from Tim Hortons. Tally says hi.
Hey, that's the first cat appearance of the chat. Or of the campaign. There you go.
We have a cat counter.
We do.
Inaugurating it. There you go.
But now across from Miss Ari, we have Miss Fred.
Hi, I'm Fred, and I play a character.
You see the stark difference between the two? Amazing. Down from there, this is all weird. We have Xander.
Hello, I'm the voice in your head that you have to convince that you're not actually gay. I'm Zan.
And last but not least, Chuck.
I'm Chuck Monty, and I also play a character. Never have anything quite good to say for intros other than I'm covered in flop sweat, and I'm gonna be your favorite ooze.
Oh.
It's not like some other kind of ooze.
Well, we'll find out.
Give me time. All right. With that, is everybody ready to step into the Wildemount world we have created?
Oh my god.
Here we go.
I'm not ready.
Hi.
Oh.
The falling rain. The staccato beat of each drop dancing in the puddles of the village roads. The drizzle flowing down the panes of glass, obscuring what moonlight can be seen out in the dark night. The muted tapping on the rooftops overhead, while people within hold each other tightly, eyes turned upward, waiting frantically as they listen to confirm their fears. The tapping may be the dilapidated footfalls of the beasts that plague them. The flicker of moonlight may be its shadow passing over as they stalk outside each home. Even the sound of dancing rain could hide the chittering of their too many teeth housed within their broken mouths. Why must they bring their hunt to this village? What use is it to these creatures to slaughter the weakest of their people? Will this latest bargain even be of any use, or are they cursed to live the rest of their days as playthings for these demons? The nightmare becomes real as your flesh begins to ripple with a chill. The chittering, that one-of-a-kind eerie hunter's cry, can be heard throughout the falling rain. The shadows taking form as one featureless head, with its broken and crooked mouth, peeks up over the windowsill. Huddled beneath that very window hides the last gamble of a desperate people. 4 would-be warriors that have come to the aid of this cursed people. But even they are not immune to the common sense that tells them with a chorus of chills that runs down their spines. you should run. But that story has not happened yet. These are but glimpses into the beginning of what will become the legend of unsung heroes and the long-forgotten evils of the world. Of things that should not be, and the invisible wars waged for the sins of our makers. And it is here, in the small but once prosperous dwarven mining village of Mar Boldor, where the story first writes its tale. Welcome back, y'all.
Oh, just in time for the spooky season.
How we holding up, chat? Everybody doing good?
Tag your porn next time. Jeez.
I was like, you're just describing Xander.
All right.
My sleep paralysis demon.
With that, in the afternoon of an otherwise forgettable day, within the local watering hole known as the Short and Stout, being a playful nod at the town's dwarven benefactors, the local patrons greet the day, celebrating their achievements, mourning their losses, giving thanks to those that they have, and grieve for those they no longer have. And some, like the lone individual who sits contemplating their second or third drink at the bar, just appreciates the white noise for the time that they have it. Chuck, would you like to describe who we see?
You. Shit. Okay. So at the bar, you see a man, hovering around 6'1", 6'2", all this long drink of water, built more like a marathon runner, thin, sitting with like a permanent hunch in the shoulders, a long mess of wavy salt and pepper hair, very beat up, rumpled Stetson cowboy hat, the band, 2 feathers poking out of the band, something that looks like a dusty jacket with leather sleeves, pair of cowboy boots, unstrung bow across his back, quiver of arrows at his side, bandolier, but only 2 daggers in the bandolier. It's not quite full. And as you get to his weathered face, a little pale but ready from a life lived out in the wilderness, steely gray-blue eyes, and the most glorious mustache. This thing has its own weather system. It is it just, you get lost looking at it. It is thick. It is also salt and pepper, and it just hangs down a little past his scruffy chin.
Nice. So as you sit in your quiet contemplation, the familiar sound of a glass sliding across the wood grain of the bar draws your eye to the hand outstretching it to you. Sitting beside you with a glass filled with the same brew she has just handed you, you see an aged elvish woman, shoulder-length silver hair combed over to drape over her right shoulder. The left side of her face, as she turns to look at you, shows a bloodied eye with burn marks stretching across her temple. Dressed simply but practically, she slowly brings back her outstretched arm and slips it underneath the poncho she wears to keep today's wind at bay. She then slowly turns back and lets her eyes drift across the numerous bottles along the shelves behind the bar, as if to reconnect with her own quiet contemplation. What do you do?
He looks down at the drink and looks over at this elven woman. And he tips his hat and goes, "Miss Air?"
It's been some
And
time since I've seen new faces in this place. figured I'd show a little bit of hospitality.
Hospitality is something we don't often find around new parts, especially being a newcomer.
What brings you to these parts?
Why I work? Just learning to, or trying to eke myself out of living.
Aren't we all?
She raises her glass to you.
Here's to hard living.
I tend not to cheers people whose name I do not know. How may I address you, ma'am?
You can call me Mazara Jada.
Is that a Miss Jada, Ma'am Jada, Monsieur Jada, Mr. Jada?
How about Mazara?
That is quite familiar. I seem to have just met you. But if Mazara is what you wish, then Mazara it shall be. A pleasure. You may call me Wyatt.
Pleasure as well, Wyatt. You know, can't help but feel that I know you. I don't mean on a personal level. I don't know your family. I don't know where you grew up. I don't know your first kiss. But that accent... You're definitely not from around here.
And you see she starts... You see she starts kind of twirling the glass on the edge, getting it so it's at an angle where the liquid is just about to spill and just rolling it back and forth. You wanted to do something?
No, go for it.
Okay.
No, definitely not from around here. But you don't have the exotic flair of someone from Marquette. And you don't have that ego of folks from Tal'Dorei either. It's that little nuance, though, that gives it away. Yeah, it's hard to get rid of that little bit of authentia at the back of the teeth. I know there's not much left across most of Asira, and you don't have some high and mighty tone, which means you're definitely not from Vasselheim. But there's still plenty of good living to be had out there. And you say you're looking for work. I wonder if it matters how big or small. Or if you just need something to fill the time.
Yeah, some with that can afford me 3 hots and a cot.
Let's see, a man of your stature with reasonable means, coming all that way just for a little something. That tells me you're on the run. Now, not necessarily in a bad way. If I took into account the lines on your face, where you come from, and that familiar, distant sort of look, I think I can paint a pretty good picture of you. Better still, I think I can help you stop running away and start possibly running towards something. But perhaps I'm reading you wrong, friend.
And she gets up to leave.
But just in case, you should swing by a place called Timeless Trinkets tomorrow afternoon. Worst case scenario, maybe I have some work for you to keep you out of your head. Best case scenario, I'm giving you the first step towards becoming something greater.
And she downs her drink, slides the glass to the edge of the bar, and turns to walk away. What do you do?
He just sort of sits there like he's chewing this over, this magic trick. And he turns in his seat and looks back to her and raises the glass. He goes, "Timeless trinkets?"
She just nods.
"I thank you for your consideration." And he takes a long, deep drink, turns around, elbows on the bar. goes about his thinking.
Right on. Now, with your mind floating through the conversation with this mysterious new figure, sloshed around with the alcohol that you've drank for the day, you don't seem to notice that there was a third participant actively listening to your entire conversation. Back within the shadowed corner of the bar, unseen by most of the patrons, sits a black cloaked figure whose only perceptible movement is when their head turns to watch as you finally decide to leave the bar before standing up to quickly follow behind you. From there, we move on. In the early hours of the new dawn, a few streets down from the now vacant watering hole and nestled between two much larger buildings sits the unimposing store known as the Timeless Trinkets. Its wooden sign gently swaying with the morning wind, giving off a high-pitched squeak every so often from its rusty hinges. The windows are crusted with dust and dirt, not for lack of care, but to hide the mysteries that sit within. The giant weather-worn door is locked up tight with a simple sign indicating that it is currently closed. But nonetheless, even at these early morning hours, dancing between standing at attention with perfect posture and pacing up and down the road looking for any signs of the proprietor's arrival, is a young, anxious figure that is noticeably eager to see what's beyond the locked door. Xander, would you like to describe who we see?
We would see standing at about 6 foot a elven figure with a bluish gray tinge to his skin. He'd have short, shaggy hair with an undercut, yet a braid still falling in the back. He's wearing a cropped jacket over black leather armor, colorful sash around his waist that's tying a lyre to his hip. His loose-fitted leather pants and thigh-high boots, topped with fingerless gloves. He has a guitar hung on, or sitting on his back, and specifically no weapons to be seen.
Awesome. So as you're standing outside this establishment for almost an hour, and with numerous people approaching you but ultimately passing by to enter other homes and shops along the road, you finally notice one slow-moving figure approaching you. Step after careful step, being mindful of the uneven cobblestones on the road, an elderly woman whose height has been cut in half by time steps up to the front door of Timeless Trinkets. Her sunken eyes peer down at her bulbous nose to where her half-moon spectacles sit as she thumbs through her collection of brass keys to find the one that will unlock the door to this house of mysteries. Finally, with a soft gasp of success, she slips the key into the lock and with a satisfying clunk, unlocks the door. She slowly steps in and closes the door behind her. What would you like to do?
Gonna wait a moment just to see if she switches a sign in the window or anything.
Okay.
And if she doesn't, knock on the door with letter in hand.
What? Something happened to Chuck. I think she's frozen.
She's gone.
Froze.
I think she saw it coming too. That was her warning. That was like her, I smell burnt toast.
Yeah.
We're hearing you. There you are. Hey,
Hello.
welcome back.
I'm getting a lot of everybody fucking froze, and so I went, oh no.
Yeah,
Did
we
you-
saw
did
that.
you- Oh good. Oh good.
That's why we record these things, so you can look back and laugh. Amazing.
Okay, well everything seems to be fine now.
Excellent.
Unless Fred hasn't moved. I'm not too sure if she's
Yeah,
just being
there she goes.
still.
There she goes. She's dancing.
No.
No, she's frozen
Oh.
for you. She's good on our end.
She's actually incredibly slow. It's very disconcerting.
We'll
like,
figure it out.
okay.
You're not
Awesome.
missing much, Pookie. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, guys. Please
No worries.
continue.
No worries. So, as you stand outside the door, you hesitantly go to knock, but you're like, no, maybe I'll give it just one more minute. And then you go up to it, it's like, I don't want to be rude. Ah, fuck it. And just as you're about to knock, you get a little startled as the sign just right over to open.
Take a deep breath. Look down at the letter of recommendation
Mm-hmm.
and push open the door.
Fair enough. Crossing the threshold, you are immediately hit with the smells of burning incense. Touches of cinnamon and cloves and mustiness that is common with book collectors. The cases on either side of the entrance display warped figurines, clay urns depicted with religious iconography.
Choking on your words there.
My tongue got so excited at this word that it completely fucked up.
It just fell down the stairs.
Religious iconography. It's a good word. And collections of sticks twisted into shapes of unknown creatures. The shelves leading down the center towards the back of the store have rows of wrapped parchment papers, books with broken and withered spines whose titles have faded over time, and all manner of strangely designed items that could possibly do some damage if one was careless enough. Which is most likely why they are on the topmost shelves. Slowly stepping into the store, your head is spinning constantly from one strange artifact to another. Before you know it, you are standing in front of the Emporium's desk, where you don't see, but you can certainly hear someone rifling around out of sight behind its large wooden countertop. And situated behind the front desk and laid into the back wall is a fountain. A classically designed stone statue of a young cherub standing on the very edge of a pool with its wings curled behind his shoulders and a sly, mischievous smirk on his face, as if he was looking directly at you. And what catches your eye most of all of the what catches your eye the most is the insane size of his hog that is currently pouring a virtual river of water into the pool at his feet. It's just like a thick third leg just streaming like a fucking geyser out there. You take another quick glance at the smirk on the statue's face and reassess what its meaning might be. What would you like to do?
Little signature on the edge says by Seductaghoul.
Welcome back, Check or chat. I can't talk. Oh, that's so funny.
What the fuck?
Oh, amazing.
Excuse me?
Oh, is someone there?
At the front desk, yes.
Oh, hello?
And you see this small figure just kind of pop up facing the wrong way to where you are standing.
Other direction.
Oh, just 1 second. Oh, there you are. Hello, welcome to my store. How can I help you?
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, it's morning.
I have a letter from a friend
Ooh.
directed me from quite a distance to here.
Oh, that's good. Okay. I'm not the post office, dear. That's down the road a little bit.
No, it is, I believe, it's a letter of recommendation.
Oh, good for you. It's good to have goals and accomplishments. I'm very proud of you.
Okay, maybe I read it wrong. Got the wrong location.
The post office is that way. Where are you supposed to be?
I'm going to peel the cultivarius stamp off and leave the envelope on the counter with
Oh,
the
dear me, the wax
stamp,
bits.
like in plain view, and I'll just kind of try to quickly read over it to see if I did in fact go to the wrong location.
So as you're scanning the document, trying to like meticulously read, like it says this location, this town, obviously Wildemount, da 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 da, and you look up at this little old woman as she kind of just kind of like stares back at you, half seeing you maybe.
The does the name, I believe it was the Oddities, ring a bell to you at all?
Well, you're in the right place. Oh, wonderful. Come this way, please.
And she gets down off the stepping stool so that her height is at the same level as the desk. So you can see her little gray bun up there, just like bobbing below like the level of the desk. And she comes over and gingerly takes your hand. And you can see she's got like a few just nub fingers left over because something funky happened there. But she nubs you a little bit and takes you along up and down the aisles.
See, we have all these lovely oddities right here. This one is all the way from Marquette. It's supposed to be a fertility, but if you're young, you don't need that. What am I saying? We'll put that back. We have over here, these are ginger. We have ginger.
I'm sorry.
It's an exotic kind of spice in a way. Sort of a vegetable, sort of a spice. I'm not entirely sure. It gives me the shits. But over here, we can go down this way, and here's a lovely, lovely oddity from Taldori. Oh, does anything strike your fancy? I can't quite reach the top shelf anymore, so you might have to help me with those if anything strikes your interest.
From Taldore?
Yes.
What is it?
Oh, it's just a little knick-knack. See, you put your fingers in here, like so, okay?
Oh.
And you hoot, 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 and you look inside, and it tells you who you're going to marry, and your lucky number is you. Ooh, it's very odd.
Yes. I believe that is something that the children use to pass time.
Oh, indeed they
I
do.
was more speaking towards an organization.
Oh, I wish I had the time to be more organized, but I'm getting late in my years.
And she starts walking back to the counter.
You know, it used to be different when my beloved Charlie used to be here. Oh, where are my manners? I didn't even catch your name, dearie.
Oh, my mistake. My name is Wesley Delaclaire.
Oh, such a pleasure to meet you, Wesley. Oh, you can call me Gam Gam.
The pleasure.
The pleasure's all mine. I'm a bit parched. Hold on one second.
And you see her take a silver cup and get her fill from the ginormous penis statue, and then just take a little sip and put it down on the counter.
Ah, that hits the spot.
I believe I must. Would he have led me to a... No. And Wesley's just gonna start looking at the shelves and still reading the letter, just trying to be like, did Cult just do a... This is something serious. What the hell is happening?
Eventually, in your frustrated contemplation and trying to entertain this old woman, eventually you hear the bulky wooden door open once more and see an older elvish woman with silver hair stride in. Her eyes are downturned, momentarily distracted with sorting the keys she holds in her hand, but then turns to acknowledge that someone unexpected is in the building with them.
And who might you be?
Oh, my apologies. My name is, Wesley Delaclaire. I came here from Teldore on recommendation.
I was hoping you'd be here sometime today. And you're punctual. That's a good start.
I try.
You know, our mutual friend didn't really give me many details about your situation there.
Oh, that's good. Sorry.
That's alright, I've known them and the company they keep for some time now, and well, that can extend my trust fairly far and wide based on their word. So let's leave it at that for now. But I'm not sure they made you fully aware of what it is that you're coming into.
I mean, he has told me many of the stories and adventures that he and, well, the Oddities took together. I think I have some idea. I think.
Well, maybe. Maybe not. Better yet, here's hoping that you're willing to be a part of some of those. Now you needn't to... Sorry, I'm a bit parched. Need some water later. You need to know that this can be a safe haven for whatever it is that you need. But that it's not going to be a free ride, alright? There will be certain expectations of you and others like you. And if you feel that this is not to your liking, or that you may be better suited somewhere else, we can have that discussion when it comes to it. Right now, I am in need of capable people who can restrain their fear of the things that exist outside these walls. Do you think you can do that?
I've dove into some of the darkest parts of the ocean by my home. I think I can take on whatever the land has to offer.
That's good to hear.
Once more, the creak of the wooden door echoes throughout the room, and you all turn to look as this gentleman in a wide-brimmed hat and a fucking phenomenal mustache steps in and assesses his surroundings.
Well, that timing couldn't have been any more perfect. Mr. Wyatt, very glad you could join us today.
Miss Mazar, pleasure.
Oh.
Pardon me. If I'm interrupting, I can go wait outside. I'm
No.
accustomed to it.
That's perfectly alright. Hope there was no trouble in finding... Did you bring a friend?
And all of you turn and tilt your head to look over the shoulder of Mr. Wyatt, as he's been introduced, and notice a black hooded figure standing just behind him, leaning against the door frame. Mizara quickly does a little sidestep, and you see one hand just fall beneath the poncho to the back of her low back. Or the back of her low back. Ooh, I write things.
You're doing great, honey.
Good.
Her butt.
Good morning. Is there something I can help you with?
And as the figure reaches up and pulls back their hood, Fred, would you like to describe who we see?
You see a medium-sized owling, cutie, looking as cute as ever with pretty little white feathers, pink blush, beautiful eyelash, very innocent looking feature, beautiful doe eyes, and she's just looking around like rapidly like an owl would, and she's just like, me?
Yes, darling. This is sort of an invite-only situation here. What brings you in my door?
I was following that gentleman. And she points at Wyatt.
Well, what do you know? We are unacquainted. I was not aware that I was bringing he just seems to like not quite be sure what to refer to the owling as. He's never seen one. And he's not showing it on his face, but he's freaked out a little bit. He's just like,
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to create an awkward situation. My name is Nev Glimmerplume. I thought I was following someone else. Oh my. Quite the commotion I've created, I think.
Well, that's all right. It's nice to be on a first-name basis. My name is Mazzara. So you say you followed our tall drink of water here to this location. Why exactly were you following them?
Oh, he looked like someone else I was following.
And who is this someone else?
Oh, do we need to go into details of that?
My patience is growing very thin here, dear.
Oh,
Why exactly are you here?
I guess it was a mistake. I should get going.
and way too late, Wyatt decides to actually check his pockets to make sure everything is there.
Well, that depends, dear. What exactly are you looking for out there that's not in here?
Well, to be honest, I am following someone and I'm just looking for, a little bit of adventure to continue my path of following.
And what sort of adventures happen
Well,
with this individual?
Well, they're great and powerful, so
Uh-huh. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and just let you come on the ride for a little bit. But that may change rather quickly, depending on your situation there. So, come along, dear. Are you hungry? You look kind of peckish.
Was that a beef joke?
No, oh my god, I didn't even think of that. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I take it back. Are you hungry? Is another way to put that.
No, I'm fine. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna quickly move on from this uncomfortable situation, and we're just gonna keep on keeping on. Gentlemen, lady? I'm gonna assume, and we'll just
throw the shovel away.
So how about we all step outside of the front door, just in case there happens to be a customer today for some strange reason, and we'll go to a more private location to have a lengthier conversation. Is that agreeable to everyone?
Okay, a second location. Let's go. Wyatt just nods.
Wesley's gonna make sure he grabs the envelope that was still on the table. Just
Oh, I thought you had it. No worries.
had the letter, not the envelope.
Gotcha. So as the three of you follow Mazzara to the far corner of Timeless Trinkets, a shallow wooden staircase leads you up to the second floor, where, obscured by the ceiling's banisters and light fixtures, hides a single door. After fidgeting with her keys once more, Mazzara opens it wide and enters her private chambers. The interior is a circular room whose walls are lined with books of a finer quality than those in the shop below. A properly arranged display of scrolls in a perfect pyramid are stacked on a desk at the far end of the room, in front of which is an intricately carved desk where numerous pages are stacked in slight disarray. At least 3 books are open to specific pages, with dozens of bookmarks throughout each of them. Inkwells and quills sit on either side of the desk, and situated just behind it is a large leather-backed chair that has seen better days. Mazzara approaches the desk and drops her keys with a thunk onto the wooden desktop. As she casually leafs through some of those stacked papers, She calls out to no one in particular.
I'll ask you to stop your reading for a moment while I introduce you to the rest of the individuals who will be joining you. So please, come out from under there so we can all have a nice little chat.
Ari, would you like to describe who we see?
So, poking out from under the desk, you see a lanky tiefling, about average height, maybe late 20s, early 30s. Just kind of like blink at you somewhat sleepily. She has all the typical attributes of a regular tiefling. She's got cherry red skin, pointed ears, sharp canine point poking out of her mouth where a little bit of drool is somewhat drying. And she's got long burgundy hair that's very wild and fluffy, and two small horns poking out of her bangs. They're decorated with like golden jewelry, and her eyes are a very deep purple with slit pupils, and her sleepy gaze just takes everyone in. And she goes like, "What time is it?"
Well, it's time for you to find your own bedroom, I think, because I'm a little preoccupied in here most nights, and
Did I fall asleep?
you did here. Yes.
Oh, sorry, was up all night. Hi.
I'll let you compose yourself and everybody can get to kind of exchange names and all. I'll be right back. Please do not touch anything while I'm gone.
And she leaves the room for a quick second.
Well, aren't we a colorful bunch?
I'm sorry I didn't catch two of your names. He turns to Wesley. He goes, "You were here first. I don't know if we're applying all for the same job, but I mean, it's good to meet you. What do you prefer to be referred to as?"
My name's Wesley.
What is your surname?
Delaclaire.
Delaclaire. Would you prefer a Mister or a Monsieur or a ma'am? I'm unsure.
Wesley is fine.
Everybody's so familiar with the first names. Okay. Yes. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Mr. Wyatt, and I believe you were Glimmer Plume. Is that correct?
Yes, my name is Neth Glimmerplume.
Wow, it is a unique experience to meet you. Is this some sort of a magic spell?
What do you mean?
I
And-
do believe she's an owlin.
Hey, a pardon?
Oh, okay. Well, I am descendants of the great owls. So, yeah. This is not a spell. This is just they are real feathers that are attached to my body.
Well, I'll be. This is like meeting a unicorn. It's good to know you. It's good to know you. And and he looks to Ari's character, whose name I sort of missed. I apologize.
I did not mention it.
Okay,
That's
he's
why.
going to ask you.
And she just kind of like waves a hand, and I cast Presto to tidy myself up. I'm wearing like a billowy white blouse and tight leather pants, and I kind of like just reach under the desk and grab a like pointy wizard's hat from under there that's dark, and you can see like under the hat, faintly glowing, is like a nebula. And you could assume this is maybe some kind of like magic happening here. She just kind of like pops the hat on, dusts it off, and goes,
Asta Star Singer. A pleasure.
Oh well, it is my now that's magic. You gotta be honest with me. That's some magic right there, isn't it?
Quite astute of you, yes.
Oh, an absolute pleasure. What was your surname?
Star Singer.
Thar singer. Okay, I will.
Star, like the stars up in the night sky.
The lights, yeah.
Mm.
Well, again,
It's
my
Furbolg.
pleasure.
It's Furbolg. Might be a bit of a mouthful for you.
I don't speak Furbolg, so
Mm.
please bear with me. I'm new to a lot of this, but it is my great pleasure to meet all of you, and I wish you luck on the job. However, I do wish I get it. I feel like I should have printed my curriculum vitae, but I don't have any parchment.
Well, you can borrow one of mine. And again, she reaches under the desk and you can hear paper ruffling, and she just gives you a very crumpled sheet of parchment that's blank.
I sorry to interrupt, but I do believe that it's going to be more than just one of us picked.
He's already scrawled like in almost like a childlike font. FRMER. Farmer. Whole life.
Do you want some help writing that out?
I'm not great with the letters. I try to read as much as I can. I'm better with the reading than the writing. But if Monsieur de Leclerc says that this is not just one single job, then I suppose I don't really need to. He just folds it up neatly and puts it in his pocket for later.
Well, I assume all of you are here to integrate this organization. Is that correct?
Well, hopefully, I have a friend that helped with this organization that has sent me this way.
Oh, what friend?
I don't know if I should name drop.
Maybe it's
I'll
someone I
name drop
know.
anyway. Darling Cultivarius.
Oh,
one of
not
the
my
founding
friend.
members.
No. All right. No.
Who's your friend?
Oh, well, I was also referred to join. Well, actually, I'd suppose you could say someone recommended I find this place and join. My foster father, Elifir. So, I figured maybe you might know him, but not the same person, no.
Not at all. I'm not sure who that is, actually.
I just said my foster father. But
I gathered that. I meant in the, I don't know who that is personally.
oh, makes sense.
And she just kind of like gives you like an up and down look. Just kind of goes like, and waits.
Land folk.
Neff is just very confused by the dynamics of like what's going on. So she's just like, okay.
It's a boomer and two nepo babies.
And an owl.
And an owl.
So, what do you like to
And-
do for fun?
Work.
yes, why do you like to do for fun, aside from work? Well, work is fun, so...
If you can get it, it's worth doing. Keeps hot food in your belly and a pillow under your head. Or at least a smooth rock.
And what type of work do you do?
Oh, I do all kinds of work. Mostly manual labor, but calloused hands are still good hands.
Ah,
True.
what about you? Neff, was it?
Yes, I'm a healer.
So, divine magic, is that it?
And the traditional healing kind as well.
Interesting.
Very good skills to have. Very impressive skills to have, I have to say.
I'm also a really big fan of music.
Well, you don't say. I can call myself a fan as well.
Do you strum on that thing, De La Claire?
Wesley, but yes, I do. It is rather, I guess you'd say, my fun.
Well, we won't be short of any entertainment, it seems, during our jobs.
Well, I mean, music is like art, and everybody appreciates art differently.
Did you all see that fountain down on the main floor? Was it
I'd
an?
like to pretend I
I
did
think
not.
it's called an elephant. I seen one in a picture book. I'm not too sure how accurate the artist's rendition of an elephant was, but it was quite interesting.
Very interpretive.
Rather tasteless, if you ask me, but who am I to judge?
I mean, to each their own, really. I'm not.
I heard that they drink through their snouts.
Is it a snout though?
It'd be
Oh,
very interesting to see one.
Well,
That-
water does come out of it.
that wasn't a snout.
And it's like just watching kind of like a really slow hamster kind of like just go through a wheel. Just watching it like the blank look on Wyatt's face. And then just suddenly,
And just like that, the door opens once again. At the moment of realization, you're startled out of it again. As Mazara comes back in and spreads out a wide map of Wildemount. And I'll pull that up for you guys here. And she takes out a weathered envelope and places it just to the left of it.
Now then, to the business at hand. You'll have to bear with me. This is going to be a mouthful, to say the least. A few weeks ago, I was contacted by a small community called Juttenborg, just south of here and west of the divide of the Ashkeeper Peaks near Ustak Lake. And if you give me a moment here, I can pinpoint it on the map here. It's right about there, if you guys are all looking. There you go. Now, it's not a large settlement, but it's enough to make a mark for themselves. Something about the soil down there makes the potency of whatever they grow there a cut above the rest. They even have a contract with King Bertrand and Rexentrum to have their particular crops sent to him for use at some annual gala in the fall time. So when this seemingly small and insignificant little village calls out for aid, and the righteous Brand nowhere to be seen, knowing connections and the possible rewards alone for something like this, well, that'd be enough to have a group sent out to investigate on my behalf. But it's the strangeness of what is happening that intrigues me the most. And I feel if we don't answer the call, there may be something revealing that will have slipped through our fingers. From what I've gathered from their letter, they have been plagued by some unknown creature or group of creatures in the night that seems to hunt down members of their community and eviscerate them. Now this... If it were a typical monster hunt or animal attack, I wouldn't pay it too much mind. But it's the way they describe the creatures as this unnameable thing. There's not much that crawls or flies under the banner of the Dwendalian Empire that most of the general public hasn't seen or heard of. Sure, there are strange things that creep and crawl beneath the ground, and occasionally you'll see some catastrophic beast that descends upon some city or a village. But even those rare occasions, it becomes public knowledge. So to have something in this day and age that can't be described, ooh, that's something I want to know. But there is one small detail that I don't even believe the villagers have picked up on. They mentioned that it happened on a particular date. and that it seems to keep happening around the same time frame between attacks. On a hunch, I asked myself, what else occurred around that time period? And one answer I came up with. There was a full moon. Katha was on full display on each night that there was an attack. There are always old wives' tales about how the moon can affect mood. It can bring the crazies out in people. Violence tends to be excessive on the night of a full moon. So what if the full moon has something to do with the appearance of strange, unknown creatures? Let me ask, off the top of your heads, can you all think of anything that fits the profile of a creature affected by the moon?
Well, I mean,
I heard tales, but they're just made up.
there's the werebeasts that have the stories about them.
Yeah, like Deleclaire said, we're beasts.
Mr. Wyatt, you're going to come to realize that many of the tales you grew up learning as make-believe or fairy tales have some root in truth. And this
Root
seems
and
to be
truth and
root and truth, and indeed. You should copyright that. Mark it down. Do you know how to write?
Barely.
You see her have a slight grin at Asta's comment there, who I think is frozen on her camera.
Yep, I sure am. Hang on.
yeah.
Because she's given the biggest
Me
bitch
mug.
face.
Me mugging.
I still have Brett looking beautiful, like she's in a hair commercial,
Yeah.
just slowly moving around.
Yeah.
Ooh, like that. I'm back.
So that could be the answer. But because we don't know for certain, I'm sending the four of you out to investigate. And we must move quickly, because there is another full moon in the sky 2 days from now. If you are capable enough, you should work to prevent another attack on the villagers, if only to break this cycle for a time. May give us a little bit of leeway to figure out the wheres and whys and hows. Bring back any information regarding these creatures, or even a sample of one would be an ideal end game, so to speak. But don't do that at the cost of your lives.
She then smooths out the map once more, takes 2 small figurines, and places one on Mol Boldor and one on where the general location of Utenborg is. I know I said Jutenborg before, but that's because I'm stupid. Utenborg is what it's supposed to be.
Utenborg?
Yeah.
Where's
So we
Where are we
are,
at, Nick?
our home base is Mar Boldor.
Oh, we're right in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're just a little ways down from Felderwin. And then Utenborg is over here close to Trostenwald and Alfield.
Yep.
You guys got that? Now,
Mhm.
on this map here, you guys can mark certain locations and everything with your markers and everything. That's for your eyes. So if you want to keep track on the map, by all means, go ahead.
Now, the journey is 2 days or so by foot, I would imagine. Roughly about 150 miles away from us. And that's at a dash of a pace. I trust that you're all able-bodied enough to make that distance in time. And I'm sorry to say we currently don't have any resources to speed up that travel. So I will leave it up to the four of you to come up with a plan of action as to how best cover that distance. But while I can't provide any help with travel, I am, however, able to offer you assistance in other ways.
Bizarra kneels down and reaches into a cupboard against the back wall and brings out a satchel. Placing it on the desk, she unlatches the flap and reaches in to pull out 4 thin and small red vials and places them on the desktop. Next, she reaches into one of the side pockets and produces a stone with a spiral design carved onto the front of it. Lastly, she takes out 4 canisters composed of a soft metal with a screw tin top.
Now, some of you, if not all of you, are most likely familiar with these.
And she holds up one of the red vials.
Healing potions that will take care of most injuries if you are quick about it. Each of you should have one on your person at all times. And just in case you're not capable of consuming your potion, let each other know where it is on your person in case they need to use it to stabilize you. I've seen too many people lose their lives over things as simple as a misplaced item. So take care and be mindful of that.
She places the vial back down and picks up the stone with the engraving on top of it.
Now this, on the other hand, may be new to some of you. This is a two-way sending stone. It works easily enough. Whoever will be speaking to me directly will take hold of this stone. You'll be the only one to hear my responses, so please make sure that whoever is sending the message is able to receive and understand what advice I can offer, and be able to communicate that to the rest of you. That's not a judgment, this is just a tried and true tactic.
Wyatt glances at Astra.
Of course, I've had to deal with your sarcasm the longest, Mizara. I'll take it.
Mazara slowly removes it from you and slips it into the front pouch of the satchel.
Now, these may be the least exciting of everything on display here. Nothing special about them, they're just metal containers. But it's what I need you to put in these containers that is of importance. Wherever and however you travel, if you rest somewhere, you need to take a sample of something in the surrounding area. I'm not talking about leaves or pine cones that have fallen off a tree, though a piece of a tree that seems to have been rooted for a long period of time would be sufficient. The deep soil from the ground you stand upon would be better than a rolling stone that you find by the road. A piece of brick or mortar from the building in the village, that would be of great help. Also, save at least one of these containers to get a sample of the soil wherever you see their crops growing.
Sorry, guys, you froze.
No worries. Can you still hear me,
Just gonna
darling?
wait it out.
She can't hear us, so we'll just take a moment here, take a breath, say how lovely everybody looks. Fred is going to do an interpretive dance for us all. And eventually, we will get our tall drink of water, Mr. Wyatt, back in here. How's everybody in the chat room doing?
Oh, there she goes.
Here she goes again!
Oh my god,
Oh
I'm
my
Wyatt.
Ah, sorry, guys. I'm having so much trouble with my internet.
It's all good. We got you back.
Did I miss anything important?
They were
Mr. Wyatt.
burying you.
If you could pipe down, please.
I do. Sometimes I tend to drift.
It's all right. My mouth is getting pretty parched here. I'm talking too much. Ha.
Where did I leave off?
The
were
last
talking
I heard was
Temple, brick and
canisters.
mortar.
Right.
Also, I found my place. Save at least one of these containers to get a sample of the soil wherever you see those crops growing. I'd be curious to take a look at what exactly may be creating such bountiful produce over there.
She takes the vials and pushes them towards each of you. Then, shoot. That's an editing thing I did not finish.
I have
She,
a question for you.
Yep.
Miss Bizarra. How many bottles of for samples do we get?
of which which one? I
The
didn't.
canisters for samples.
Oh,
How
there's
many do we
4.
get? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there's 14 canisters. And she places those in the satchel as well and then does it back up. So, if you guys want to go into your equipment, you can add 1 healing potion each. And
Lastly, what every adventuring party needs but hardly ever has on hand, this
as she pushes the satchel forward.
is a bag of holding. If you don't know what this does, you're in for a special kind of surprise.
So, in all your inventories, I don't know if it could be a shared thing with all our stuff on D&D Beyond and such, but you can all add a bag of holding, and inside of there, you've got the 4 canisters and the sending stone. So make note of that, and we can do that up, and we can figure it all out later.
Now, you may have questions about this particular journey I'm sending you on, and I don't blame you. I only wish that I had more answers to offer. But until we have eyes and ears at the scene, we won't know much. But that is why you have the sending stone. Once you feel that you have something to report, don't hesitate to contact me. I will ask, though, that you exhaust as many avenues as you can before you do. I find it better to have every and all details to look upon at once rather than trying to find patterns within clues every waking hour only to reevaluate everything by the end.
She scans the room, taking each of your eyes in one at a time, assessing how all this information has kind of sat with you. Asta, how are you feeling about this right now?
Well, while Asta's eyes were previously sleepy, you can see now that there's like a glimmer of like interest, and like they're very sharp. And I do have the keen mind feat, so everything is in there.
Sweet. Neff, what's your take on everything so far?
Very exciting.
Mr. Wyatt, how you feeling?
He looks confident. There's a job to do. It's been outlined. Follow the steps, finish the job.
And Wesley.
Concerned. The fuck's wrong with all of you?
All right.
So this is what we do. This is the job. We look into the strange. We look into the weird. We seek out and try to understand things that are unknown. So when the day comes where the rest of the world seems unprepared, we will be at the ready. Within our lifetimes, we have seen such catastrophes across the entire world occur, and we react far too late. Politicians and their city guard will turn a blind eye to most everything outside of their jurisdiction or political interests. The righteous brand are spread too thin and are too focused on waging war to have the time and patience to do what we are doing. If there is no one at the ready to understand the what, where, and why of these cataclysmic events, there may be a day where our dumb luck of having a group of saviors appear will fail. No one to stop us from being under the rule of a chroma conclave. We would live under the reign of a horrific new deity rising to power. All the unspoken and invisible wars that happened throughout history would bring forth a second calamity. I am not ready to let the people of this world fade away, or worse, live only due to happenstance. I need people on the front line. And right now, that's the 4 of you. So consider this a test and a taste of what's to come. Once you've returned, after discovering whatever mystery is waiting for you, we can talk about where we all go from there and how I might benefit all of you.
And she leaves it to all of you.
Well, with that, like, Asta's just kind of like gonna go back behind her desk and disappear from view as she gathers up her stuff. And then she'll just kind of like take a chair and sit in the corner and wait until everyone's ready to leave or whatever comes next.
Everyone else?
I don't mean to be. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
He was gonna just quietly sort of sidle up next to Mizara and be like, I don't mean to be crude, but are we paid on a monthly basis or bi-weekly or bi-monthly?
With this particular contract, once the job has been secured, we've already negotiated one price point, but the results or your success may change that outcome.
Oh, sort of like a bonus situation?
Exactly.
All right. And are we to keep any receipts? Bills of sale? Are we reimbursed for such things?
There may
You
be
said
in
you
the
did not have any transport, so I was wondering if we perchance decided to rent some horses, do I bring proof of purchase back to you and then we are reimbursed later? Super interesting D&D stuff, I'm sure.
I will say the prospect of getting horses may be a little bit challenging. Most of them are just for tilling and not so much travel. You may have some luck with some of the outskirt kind of homesteads. So do ask around before you head off. There may be something that could accommodate in some fashion, but I just don't know of any.
All right.
As to your question about reimbursement, there shouldn't be much to be reimbursed on this particular trip. Future, absolutely you will be reimbursed.
Oh, okay. So this is sort of like a trial run, as it were.
You could think of it that way.
Okay. All right.
See how resourceful you all are together.
We'll see. Some of these faces look pretty fresh.
Well, fresh faces come with fresh ideas.
And he sort of leans back against the wall.
I'm gonna laugh if everybody just leans back on the wall, waiting for someone to take the first step
We
out of the
all
door.
lean back against the wall. This is our album cover.
Mizara, I don't know if you have it in your wheelhouse of abilities, but if you could contact my friend and let him know I've arrived safely. I know he's been rather worried.
That's a fair request.
That's really all I have. I'm ready to go. I have my guitar on my back. It's really all I need.
Should we get going then? I'm ready to go.
The day is fresh and new, and the sun is gonna ride high in the sky. Make hay well. The sun shines during the day.
Would you
Let's
give
see.
me 10 minutes?
Sure.
I'll be waiting outside.
I'll join you.
Do you need help with whatever you're doing?
No.
I'll wait outside then.
All right. Ta-ta.
Just imagine, gotta sacrifice the goat just before we go. Ah.
I joined the cowboy and the musician outside.
Yeah, and eventually, Asta would join you again, smelling faintly of incense, but she looks the same.
Well, before that,
Asta, a moment of your time, if you would.
Of course.
So this... I'm not entirely sure that Elifer had this in mind when he sent you my way.
It's hard to tell what he has in mind most of the time, to be honest with you.
That's very true. That's very true. But I do appreciate you at least giving this a try, if nothing else. This group, whew, it's a strange bunch to kind of bring together, I must admit, but I really don't have many other options at the moment. But you, my dear, you have a level head. You have an intelligence unlike most. And I'm going to rely on that as you set out on this task. I don't mean to put any kind of pressure on you, but I just want you to know it's appreciated.
Oh, none whatsoever. They certainly aren't the type I'm used to working with, so that will prove interesting. Or maybe not. We'll see.
Well, sometimes the unexpected has its... Oh, I really wanted to say challenges, but it's charms. I think that's a safe way to put it.
Well, I do know not to judge a book by its cover.
And she just kind of like gives the comically large tome she carries around like a crossbody strap, a little pat, and tips her hat at you.
Well, those are wise words, but having said that, here,
And she slides you the sending stone.
please be the one to message back to me,
Of course.
if only to make sure that you're still able to talk to me.
Well, if my tongue gets ripped out, then we'll have 3 others to contact you.
Well, that's why I have the healing potions. All right.
And she kind of just puts her hands on your shoulders.
You're one of the good
She
ones.
gives you a very nonchalant pat and just does not look bothered whatsoever by any of this.
All right. Best get going. Here.
And she hands you about 10 gold.
Make sure everyone gets fed before you head out. But the sun is setting pretty soon, so do get a move on.
Yeah, I probably should, because as soon as it's set, then I'm just gonna be slowing down, aren't I?
Well, we all have our faults.
You just called me smart 10 minutes ago, but alright.
Well, even the smart people have their faults.
I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right, get the hell out of my office.
And I'll leave another little salute.
So, as the 4 of you gather outside the entrance to... The fuck did I call this place?
Timeless trinkets.
Timeless Trinkets. I know. I wrote it. We are going to take a break. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for hanging out in the chat. I try to keep focus on the story, but then I see the chat fly by. I'm like, oh God, I'm missing a conversation. What's going on here?
And there was so much.
It's great. It's so
awesome.
great. I miss this feeling. All right, so we're going to take about a 10-15 minute bathroom break, and we will be right back as soon as that's done. While we are on the break, you're going to see an advertisement. Ooh, but not typical advertisements. Advertisements for our subscribers. You get to see the little emotes we created from last campaign, where it's all our little characters and everything that you can get when you subscribe or use your Prime subscriptions if you're nasty like that with Amazon, and you get to make use of those in the chat. After that, you're going to see a fantastic little art reel from all the lovely art created by Chuck Monty, down that way, from our first campaign. So a little reflective bit on our previous campaign. Anyway, yeah.
That's
So
all.
with that, we'll see you in a little bit.
Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for holding out. So, as this new party comes together for the first time, exiting the shop of, that store whose name I totally remembered because it was such a unique name.
Timeless trinket.
Yeah. See, that's how classic it is. They remember it better than I do.
It's the keen mind.
Yes. Y'all step outside Timeless Trinkets in search of what? Where do you all go from here?
I do believe we should be seeing if we could procure ourselves a means of travel if anyone were to happen to have one here.
Well, if anyone's interested, Zara also gave me the means to buy our first dinner together.
Ooh, big dinners. We can get to know each other, play charades.
And I personally haven't eaten since I forget.
It's too real. It's too real.
Well, we could
Well,
eat
full
and
belly
then-
is always better to travel on than an empty one. But
What do you
Mizard
say,
did say
Wesley, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt. It's just that it's so hard sometimes coordinating through the astral planes and speaking at the same time and interrupting each other. And I'm just making a Discord joke because, yeah.
Sorry, I stopped paying attention when you started to ramble.
Oh,
That
this
might
group is
cost
going to
you
do so
someday.
good.
Well, no,
I'll
just
take my
getting to
chances.
Know each other. I don't think there's any need for that. Asta, are you from around here?
Not quite. I am from Wildemount, however.
Do you have any restaurant suggestions?
No, I've mostly had coffee under Mizara's desk, so.
well, there's a whole mess of squirrel in the surrounding wood. I could go shoot us a couple. We could, roast them up over an open fire. That would save us some money.
Why don't we just go to the inn?
I'm
Or
good.
the inn, if the
Wesley, I'm just
company is
playing around.
paying.
Mhm. Well, yes, she is.
And she just kind of like shows off the little pouch of gold that Nazara gave me.
Yeah, no need to complicate things. But, I'm not quite sure which direction the inn is in.
Why don't you lead the way, Miss Starsinger?
I will lead the way to the. I've certainly not been to an inn since I've been here, but I will find one. Maybe I've crossed one, so let's
Okay,
do that. Yeah.
I have been to the inn. I can lead the way.
There you go.
Convenient.
Jason's
Lead
just
the
like,
way.
just get to the fucking inn, you.
No, I'm waiting to see like who's taking command here. Is it going to be Asa or is it going to be Neff?
All right. Well, this is the inn. It's very simple, but I really hope
Standing
there's-
right outside.
Yeah, they have a
She
really
just
nice
turns.
stew. So I mean, I'm not from around here, but maybe yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, all right. Come on in. Come on in.
All right,
please.
and I'm just gonna like open the door and step inside.
Wyatt will
She's,
hold the door for everybody as they go in.
Neff walks in and she's like, "Can we have a table for? Oh, we are 4 people, please.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to see you again. You look very healthy."
Yeah.
There was a hint of doubt in that.
Why do you say that?
Just kind of sounded a little more uncertain than the first two. Is all.
Oh no, I think I don't know. I always assumed them was positive. You know?
Aren't you a healer? Shouldn't you maybe go check?
Wyatt's already found a table, is pulling out chairs, waiting.
Oh, Wesley
There's-
has gone around and sat in. And is just
I
leaning
also
back
don't want to
watching.
impose my healing on people unless, like, you know. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Up to you. And I'm gonna go sit with the other two.
What a strange bird she is.
So eventually, the grunting dwarf comes back around, carrying a large clay pitcher. They place it in the center of the table, and the 4 mugs that they have interlaced in all their fingers there, they just shukunk, 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 places it in front of you, snaps the white napkin, places it over top again. What do you want?
Wyatt's going to sort of sit straighter up and take his hat off. You can see it's like his hair is totally hat hair at this point. So he's just got this perfect little bulb, and then and he places it on the table and he goes, Lang Mersay Lumreek, which is Dwarvish for may your chimney smoke. Meaning toast to your health, good sir.
I am a woman.
My apologies from the deepest depths of my heart, miss. What would everybody like?
I would just prefer a sandwich or something simple. Maybe a glass of rum.
What is in the stew today?
Vegetables, bit of meat, a lot of broth. It's a stew.
May I ask what kind of meat?
The one that was brought in for us to use in the stew.
Would you happen to know if it is of the aviary kind?
No.
Okay, I'll have just some bread and maybe some jam.
Yeah.
Is it brown meat or white meat?
It's taken on a color of its own depending on
I will have this stew.
Yeah.
For me, I will have a glass of wine, a cup of coffee, a glass of water, a piece of cake. I'll skip on the stew. And may I have a little cup of sugar water, please?
I think
Yeah.
I will join on the glass of wine as well, please.
Hmm.
I think so. And an ale for myself.
She kind of looks over the order once, and anybody who wants to can kind of make an insight check.
Hey, let's go!
Yeah.
First roll of the game! Yeah!
Is this it? Oh,
I'm
what a
very
lame
excited
thing.
to roll in this the first time.
Yeah, go for it.
How do I roll? I'm gonna get there.
You go to your character sheet. You've got all of your skills, and you just click on the skill name.
You guys can't see this at home, but when we go into combat, there are actual dice that like roll across the screen now. It's awesome.
Insight,
So-
insight, insight.
I rolled a 9.
Okay.
Oh, I got a 12.
No, 11.
I will say the 12 will take it. Not that the rest weren't decent rolls, but I'm just going with the highest one since you all rolled. Wyatt, you've seen this. You've lived a number of years. You've seen this expression before where she turns to leave and she just kind of gives this like eye roll that says, they're not going to leave a tip. And then she just goes back to get your orders ready.
All right.
What was that? I'm sorry, like, Jason, you briefly cut out when you said what you said.
I think that's because you're frozen.
Oh yeah, you were frozen.
God damn it!
I like that whenever Ahi freezes, she always freezes looking like poised.
Yeah, just
I have no idea what I look like. I'm checking my settings because for some reason my shit is being stupid.
it's all good.
Kitty.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna replace my webcam at some point, but for now I'm back.
Excellent.
Way.
Sorry, you asked me a question.
Yeah, I didn't catch the result of the insight check, but
Oh, pretty much she's just mentally writing you guys off.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
They're not
I'm
gonna
used to
leave a
it.
tip.
It's fine. It's fine.
So while you guys wait for your food, what would you like to discuss?
Well, while we're waiting, Wesley will kind of lean back in the chair and have the guitar out and just like softly strumming.
Are you a bard?
I guess. I mean, I don't really do this professionally. It's a way for me to help channel what magics I know.
How fascinating.
I mean, I
What-
guess. It is a neat little trick.
What types of magic do you know?
Usually mild controlling and things like that. Ways to help even the playing field some.
Interesting.
Though
Could be interesting to compare spells at some point. You are also a caster of the arcane.
Unless you're gonna keep a note of everything that I do, it's up here. I don't really quite write it all down.
You underestimate my capacity for retention.
No, I just meant that if you want to compare, you're gonna have to remember. I don't have a book for you to compare with.
Oh, I mean, we can just discuss.
That works as well. Yeah, though I also have more innate abilities, just to aid with encouraging my company.
Interesting.
And like you do see that like she seems slightly more interested in you than she was earlier.
I mean, when you're a rare sight for land folk, you need to be able to make sure you can hold your own.
Oh, I've met sea elves before.
I mean, we're not that rare, but goddamn fucking birds.
So there's elves that live in the sea? now? I apologize. I don't mean to interrupt
But
upon your
can.
conversation, but I am. Wow, three magic users? Owling I've never met before. Tieflings I have seen. But a sea elf, is that why your skin color is the tone that it is?
Wesley will just like turn his head and you'll see like the elven ears are actually shaped from the point down into a fin.
Wow, won't you look at that?
I mean, I've heard tales of my kind living in the deepest parts of the ocean, and then some living in the shallow waters. Kind of all
Golly
around the
gee.
place.
Do you breathe, obviously breathe air as the rest of us here at the
Aye.
table are doing right now, but can you, like a fish, breathe water?
I wouldn't say like a fish, but I mean, I'm more comfortable under the waves than above them.
Wow, that is so interesting. And have you all done this sort of work before? The team up like uh, detectives looking for a solution to a problem, like a crime.
To be
I'm
honest, this is my first time. I've been mostly traveling solo up until I stumble. Yeah.
So
I
you've
was, my
go
mistake.
ahead.
No, you continue.
Oh, I was just wondering. This is I'm just I've worked on a team, but not a team with three magic users. This is all new to me. You guys, if I'm falling behind, you just try to catch me up as you can.
Hmm.
I also have not really worked with others besides my mother. We were fishers, deep sea fishers selling at the market.
Oh, so kind of like farming folk. Okay, I can relate to that. We had a couple of oxen, some sheeps, and mostly just hunted.
I mean,
Sorry, I just saw Jason's face go like.
and yeah, I guess you could say fishers and farmers have shared qualities.
Well, hunting part, yeah, for sure.
That's for sure.
I mean, I assume that's why they decided to. That Mizora, she has what is it called? When you can see past just the outside appearances of people.
Well,
Insight.
to be fair, when you come with a recommendation, it's you kind of have to put your own biases aside to give them a chance.
So I'm getting the feeling that this is some sort of it's almost a startup of a company that is established elsewhere. Is that correct?
I do believe. So,
Well, to be fair, prior to coming here, this has been the first I've heard of the oddities. So I have no idea, but Mizara has spoken of other branches around Exandria. I'll assume this is the Wild Mountain one.
Heard of ruffling about the oddities, but you know, not much.
I've heard wondrous tales of fighting and meeting gods and fighting at the end of the world. It's rather quite interesting. I do not believe we'll be doing that.
Really? So this is like kind of like this group has some sort of pedigree. Is that my understanding of the situation?
Uh, from what I know, it's they have their connections, but they're not the most world renowned.
They mostly work from the shadows, from what I've heard. Again, never heard of the oddities before coming here. So,
I guess we'll find out.
I suppose
we
we
will.
shall. And you came with a recommendation. You said from part of the company.
Uh, one of the founding members.
Oh wow.
He became a good friend of my mother's and mine.
Hmm.
And I was in need of a little assistance. He wrote me up this letter, gave me a bit of gold to get here, and sent me on my way.
That's interesting. I was merely sitting at a bar yesterday, and that Missouri came and read me like a book. Sent me right to meet all you fine folk, and good to know you, and happy to see how working with you comes together. Miss Starsinger, you already seem to know, Ma'am Missouri, Mrs. Missouri, Ms. Missouri. Sorry, I'm getting used to all
Zara,
this.
and you may call me Asta, please. Mr. Starsinger is my father, not. Yeah, let's forego last names, please.
I will do my best, uh, uh, Asta. It's just not something we do back home. It feels a little familiar, and I don't wish to overstep any boundaries.
Well, I am telling you it is all right to overstep this one, therefore you may.
Thank you, Miss Asta. I will do my very best. What I was curious about is you seem to know Missouri formerly. Were you recommended as well as Delaclaire was?
I would say recommended. Where I'm from, I come from a group of scholars who work at an observatory, and the lead researcher there, Elifir, my foster father, told me to seek out Mizara, as I've had to leave the observatory in quite of a rush. And that's it. I followed the stars all the way here and found her. And I've only been here for a little while. Haven't seen much of the outside world so far, so.
Fascinating.
It is full of surprises, I can tell you. And
Oh, you don't even understand the half of it.
I've already today seen things I never thought I would. Uh, uh, Speaking of Miss Glimmer Plume, you were with a group and now you've struck out on your own?
Well, I mean, I've been traveling on my own for a couple of weeks now. But I mean, part of a group, but I don't know if I would qualify it like that.
What would you qualify it as then?
Well, I've mostly been part of of studying at a shrine, and then I just decided to branch out on my own.
The cleric type, I see.
Well, that's what I said earlier. I'm a healer.
Well, not all healers are clerics. Druids, for example, have healing magic.
It's true. Yes. Just we live in a world where it can be sensitive to declare yourself as.
So are you referring to the outlawed deities of this empire? Oh. You see, I'm from the Menagerie Coast. None are outlawed there, so that did take some getting used to when I crossed over here.
What town are you from?
Oh, I'm not from a town.
Oh, I'm from Damali.
Oh, Port Damali. I have been through. Haven't stayed for very long, however.
You're close by to the Menagerie.
Yes, it's on the Menagerie Coast. Indeed.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the
We're
capital.
very-
Uh-huh.
Uh,
So,
I will inject. It's not just clerics and druids who do magic. I have a little bit of fancy words myself that can help mend some wounds.
of course, several people know healing magic. That was merely an example that is close to me. So, what you're saying is that you also know some healing magic, Wesley.
But of course, gotta make sure the tides of battle are always in our favor.
Good. That's not an area I have an expertise in, so that might prove useful, actually.
Oh, goodness gracious me! It's I'm just, y'all so shiny.
Well, you also have some shinies of your own. And she just kind of like gestures over to the bandolier with the arrows and all of the weaponry you carry.
Oh, that was one thing I forgot. He does have like a gold nose ring and several gold earrings. It is literally the only shiny thing on his body. All the knives are just like scratched,
Oh.
dull. Yeah, but
She gestures to the piercings.
he
You
just fiddles
say-
with his ear.
When you say Neff is shiny, she's like, oh, and then she's rearranging her feathers, like as if something is wrong with her feathers.
I
Now-
just say you're all so young and with all your magics and talents. It's, I won't lie, I feel a little out of place.
Now it's at that point where the waitress comes back out and she brings a carafe and places it in the center of the table. It's an empty carafe, and she properly displays the bottle of wine to kind of show it off to you all. It's a very old dwarven vintage. And she uncorks the bottle and she pours a little sample, swishes it around, places it in front of Asta to sample the goods. Keeps it there on display, waiting for your approval.
And she like just grabs the cup, swirls it around a little bit, and just goes like,
Oh my god.
downs it.
Sorry to interrupt, Raiders. Hello.
Oh shit!
Holy
What the
Holy-
fuck?
balls of
Hi.
hi.
Whoa!
That's just an explosion of color.
What is going on? Tiger Rider, thank you for the
Wow.
raid.
Thank you so much. Also, those
So
emotes are adorable. What the
Oh my
hell?
gosh.
That is so cute.
That's very cool. Thank you, thank you, thank
Oh,
you.
I hope
not
you
kidding.
had
Sorry,
a
we
nice
haven't
stream.
been rated
Damn
in so
good
long, I
wine.
don't even remember my rating
Right.
commands.
I think it's raid.
I got you. I sent a little shout out.
So-
Tiger Riders, thank you so much.
That's excellent. Thank you guys so much.
Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So with the approval, she gives you a curt nod, puts the glasses out in front of everyone who wanted wine, and then she takes the empty carafe, takes this prestige bottle of wine, puts it over top, and makes like a vortex to just dump it all in the carafe and then just plunks it down in front of you.
Aerated.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
And then she kind of looks around, nods, forgets that all of you ordered other drinks, but the wine is there, heads on back.
Oh, she's definitely gonna wave on back to her for the other drinks.
Can I talk to your manager?
Asta is the Karen of the group.
Yeah, totally. It's just that I need one for caffeine, one for hydration, and one for fun. I'm missing the caffeine and the hydration.
Before the waiter leaves, Neff is gonna be like, I'm sorry, could I have a straw, please? It's, for the beak.
She takes out a piece of paper, rolls it up, hands it to you.
Thank you. And then Neff will take the wine glass, take the straw in, and go. So much easier like that. If I drink wine with the beak, sometimes it just slurps, and then with the white feathers, it can be a little bit with the wet wine.
Oh yeah, that's gonna sting.
understandable.
Well, it's not that it stains. It just looks a little bit messy. It looks like I drank blood or something, and I'm not that kind of owling.
Are there those kind of owlings?
Well,
No,
a
huh?
vampire owling would fit that criteria.
I think they're pretty rare. I've never met one. But I'd rather not perpetuate any stereotypes that we're brutal and mean creatures.
Oh, I was just wondering. I mean, there's all kinds of folk in the world. It doesn't matter if you're tiefling, an owling, or sea elf.
She looks
A
at you very
human.
intensely as she slurps the wine, the wine with her straw, and then you hear the bubbles like. As you say that.
Just like staring at you.
That's a little disgusting.
Well, to each their own. Did I get all of my drinks?
Nope, not yet.
God damn it.
I was wondering, unless you guys want to go on foot and have barking dogs, maybe we'll hit up some of those surrounding homesteads, see if we can't get some of those folk to lend us some horses for a small amount.
I mean, ideally, we'd like to go find somebody with a cart and horse, but you know.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with simply walking. We're not on a time. Well, yes, I do believe we are on a time crunch. The full moon is in 2 days.
I do believe that if we are to walk, we'll be arriving in the middle of an attack instead of before. So we really wouldn't be able to prevent it then, would we?
Would I know about the distance from shit, I forget. More. The town name. Marbolder.
That's where we are.
Yeah, you guys
we
are
will
in.
be
To
going.
all the way to our destination.
Yeah.
I believe it was 150 miles, as Mizara had informed us. Should take us
So-
2 days at a run.
I love it when the players listen, man. So
There
good.
you go. So
I'm
my
good at one thing.
there you go. So that is exactly what I tell Wesley. That's what I wanted to confirm. I was like, well, Zara said that, at a good pace, it is doable on foot. So
I mean, it is.
Why waste
but,
time looking for horses?
Because if we're able to get a horse, it'll be much quicker, and it will more than make up for any time that we would miss, and then some.
And then
We
if
can
we don't find a horse, then we'll
we-
arrive late on foot.
We can split the difference, see if there's anything on the way out.
Mhm.
Stop for a brief how-do. If they ain't got nothing for us, then we keep on trucking.
Personally, I don't see the need for a horse for myself, but
Are you a flying owlin?
yes, I can fly.
Would you be able to keep up with a horse through flying? They do
No.
get rather quick, so maybe you might need a horse.
Okay, so maybe we need to get a few things straight. So I can walk and fly at the same speed as like everyone. But I'm not like a supersonic creature.
Yes, I assumed
So,
as much.
When I do fly, it's kind of like at a normal pace. So it's very practical. I can get up high, and it's just kind of like a nice leisure flight. It's very nice and very comfortable. But I can't fly faster than say what you would walk.
Which is
Well,
why
I'd
we
say-
most likely need a horse for you as well.
I like to get
So,
my steps in.
I can see that being as we are approaching Jorgenborg.
Utenborg.
Jutenborg. That might be come in handy, Miss Glimmerplume, as you can probably get. And please pardon the pun. If it is too much, please tell me. I will stop.
A bird's eye
A
view.
bird's eye view. You were there before me. Good
like
on
that
you.
one.
You could also
really
set
like that
aerial
one.
view.
No, I think that one is aptly named.
I'm glad you think so, and I have not offended you. But yes, an aerial view would have worked as well. Just to see what we're getting into. As I said before, I'm unfamiliar with werebeasts. Not a lot of those where I come from. Nor have I seen many in my travels.
Where do you come from, Mr. Wyatt?
I am of the Othansian persuasion, which is in Isilra.
That's quite the distance.
Yeah, I've been walking for a long time. And he
So-
just sits there quietly.
Which is when the waitress comes back out again. Meals, prepped stews, breads, and other things that people ordered that I totally remember. Gives every dish out, places the plethora of beverages for everybody else that is not wine. And then casually just kind of leans over and just says, "Don't find horses."
That clears up that mystery.
I throw Wesley a look.
Do you know if there'll be any other mounts?
You go find my cousin. He's on the edge of the village here. Stone Gutter, last name. You can see it on the sign. He's got a boat. Should be handy for wherever you need to get to, around these parts at least. Mm-hmm.
And your name?
Somehow I turned into Sling Blade.
I'm sorry. I feel like I'm encouraging this voice.
God damn you, you're addictive. My name is Petunia. Mm-hmm.
Good to know you, Petunia.
Shit, that's the name of your fucking dragon from the last thing we did. God damn it.
I was like, oh, Petunia has polymorphed.
I'm trying to think of like the most stupid name for a guttural sounding female dwarf, and Petunia was the first thing that came to my mind.
Daisy.
Daisy. My name is Daisy.
Thank you so much. I'll be right back. Harry wants to go tonight.
Well, I thank you very much for the information. That will be very valuable to us.
Yep. And then she just walks away.
Does your relative have more than a boat?
Yep. And then she walks away.
Okay.
Was it a boat that was discussed?
What was that? I'm sorry?
Yeah,
A
she only
boat?
mentioned a boat
Oh,
when
we
she
have a-
mentioned. There's a river, yes.
There is a river.
But
Could we
it
on a
would
boat trip?
be, it could be quite a detour. I don't know if that would prolong the trip or not. Anyway.
If the two
Um,
of us from the Menagerie Coast, a boat would be really, really good because we know how to boat.
Oh, I
mean,
don't.
Oh, you don't?
To be
No.
fair, I fancy myself a sailor. I used to have to
Well, there
take the
is,
boat out to the open water before I went fishing.
and I know my way around a boat, so
I'm sure I
Oh,
could help
lucky.
row, run the tiller. I've worked the boat coming over to Wildemount.
Oh, well, there might not actually be a need for that.
Again, magic, and she waves an arm, and like a little plume of purple-colored smoke with like little golden stars just spirals
just
around it.
Can you just magic us to Utenberg?
Oh, no, that's not what I meant. I meant that, there's no need for us to bother ourselves with menial labor on the way there.
Blink, blink, blink.
We'll see.
What do you mean, no medial labor? I'm just kidding.
I mean, if you don't know how to ride a boat, it's good to learn. 'Cause,
Again, I would rather spend my time doing more interesting things.
that's fair. Not everyone's into the same thing. Some of us are into being a little more stuck up instead of wanting to broaden our horizons.
Well, I have broadened my horizons for a fair bit over the years. I'm always willing to learn more, just not that type of task. Is there going to be an issue going forward, Mr. Wesley?
Honestly, I've been used to dealing with the typical customers and this type of attitude. So normally I just ignore it.
Everybody's so bitchy.
So I would suggest maybe, since we are going to be working together for a couple days, practicing your nice voice.
Nice voice.
sorry, it was raining in my apartment.
What?
Raining?
Yeah.
Oh, the window is open.
The window and the door were open.
Hopefully, my partner brings Harry back.
Rain is sounding incredibly close. What? Sorry.
No.
I'm just Wyatt's just like eating stew, not even really tuning into the conversation.
It's like mom and dad are fighting, just disassociate, push back the food.
And I'm gonna like look at Wesley, but like, if anything, there's no hostility coming from Asta whatsoever. She's just very amused by all of this.
Wesley's just gonna like eat a sandwich, have his rum, and be like,
And I'm
Well-
slowly gonna reach over to the sugar water I ordered, and I'm just gonna lift my hat and go, and then set it back down empty.
That's her
The
second
hair
mouth.
I knew it.
The mouth at the back of her neck.
Aw, yeah. The eldritch demon at the top of my head.
It's just
I'm not a dragon this time. Ratatouille has to.
Well done, Arachne's crown. That's good.
Yep.
That's good stuff.
Point of inspiration for you. Amazing. Well, with the meals, I don't know if they could be called enjoyed, but they are eaten, and the drinks drank. Where do you guys head to next?
What time is it at this point?
Ooh, we are getting close to the sun setting behind the mountain.
All right, then I suggest we get a move on.
I believe we'll be going to see Stone Gutter. What's the name?
Sure.
You're the one who gave the name, Jason.
Do you think I listen to myself talk?
Yeah,
No.
it's Stone Gutter. It's
Hey.
Stone Gutter. Did we actually receive the map?
The map? Not the map that she had, but I'll give you like enough credit to say like you guys probably have maps. Seeing as how you've all come like from one direction or another, you guys have maps on yourselves. So
Okay, cool.
trust that whatever we have on this, I'll assume that you guys are updating each other's maps to have the same information on it.
As we go outside, Wyatt's gonna clock the position of the sun, figure out where north, south, east, and west is, and once he does, he's like, if there's a road heading in that direction, south, he's gonna start for it with his lanky trudge.
Okay.
Make sure you're keeping out for the sign that's the Stone Gutter on it.
Would someone else actually be? I mean, I can read, but sometimes the dwarvish letters get away from me.
I don't believe I know Dwarvish.
Yeah.
I do. I'm
Sorry,
more
I
of a
thought you were
speaker.
waving.
Oh,
No.
no. Oh, no. I know much less conventional language.
Does anybody speak
It-
Dwarvish?
I do, but
You
I
do?
only speak it. I don't read it. It
Now, I
goes
want to
with
point
my
out that
super
I did
high
not
intelligence.
put that out there. This is all Chuck's fault.
This is Chuck's fault. I do have a -1 to my intelligence, so I'm merely playing it up. I can learn it. I can learn by ear.
She
read.
assumed the sign would be in Dwarvish.
I'm just gonna
You know.
point out for you while you're saying the signs and could be in Dwarvish. Not a single sign that we've gone past has been in Dwarvish.
Oh, perfect. If it's in common, then I can probably get you there. But
Well,
his
if you
stride
try-
and direction confident.
if you struggle with anything, just let me know.
Thank you for your assistance at any point.
All right, so everybody make a perception check.
Dun, 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 dun. Where's my dice? I don't remember.
Yeah, that I'm getting the same type of luck and rolls that
You need to like,
I used
I
to.
don't know, fucking bless your computer, take it to see a priest. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
get it exercised, honestly.
Excuse me.
I could roll physical dice, maybe.
All right.
Got a
Oh, that's
7.
exactly the same thing. Cool.
18.
So, Wesley, you are the first to pick up. Just as soon as you guys feel like you are exiting the village proper, right on the cusp of the road that leads to the main street, you see just outside of the borders of the village, one lone kind of ranch. Looks a little run down. The fence is kind of like falling apart on one side. And there seems to be beasts of burden, but they don't seem like they're travel beasts. They feel like they are like almost like hippos pulling carts and everything like that. So very slow paced, but very sturdy beasts that get the job done. And kind of whittling away on like some sort of, you know, toothpick. I don't fucking know. There seems to be one. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta get it just right.
There seems to be
Everyone
one.
can whittle a steak.
Yeah. It's my finest piece to date. Just on their porch is a dwarven figure. What do you guys want to do? As I'm gonna cough.
Wesley will approach, like, this stone gutter.
Oh, that's me. What can I do for you?
Petunia sent us, your way.
Oh, Daisy, how's she doing? Oh, she's one of my favorite cousins. She is, yeah.
She, recommended, we come see you. We have a bit of traveling to do, and
Oh, yeah.
we're heading down towards, if I remember, have it written. Wait, what is it called
Utenberg.
again?
Oh, Utenberg. I've been there in
Yeah.
quite some time. Lovely place. Good. What do they sell down there? Oh, the bread is pretty good. Oh, lots of things are good down there. Oh, tomatoes. Oh, tomatoes and the biscuits. That's the way to go, I tell you. Oh.
I do believe I've been told that their, produce is out of this world.
Oh, I'd say so. I've partaken in some of it myself not too long ago. It's been some time since I met out to Utenberg. What takes you down there?
We are going as a relief force and seeing if we can help the people some.
Oh, nothing like a bit of travel to give you some relief, that's for sure.
But I was wondering if you happen to have any means for us to be getting there a little quicker than 2 days.
Oh, not that I could be thinking of. I've got me oxen there, but they're a pretty useless beast of burden. They just kind of eat the grass and shit whenever they feel like it. Not much of a traveling sort, you get what I mean. I could give you the cart, but you'd have to pull it along. I don't know if that's gonna help or hinder your means of travel. Oh! I do have one thing. Hold on, wait here! Oh, Steve, I'll be right back!
And they run off. And you hear a bunch of like pots clanging and falling over and wood breaking and fucking thing. Finally, they come back out. They have one pot kind of situated on their foot and they're just clanking over towards you. And they,
Oh, I've got this. Oh, I've been meaning to try it out, but now you can try it out for me. Oh, here you go.
and it's like a 9x9 pack of like wooden pallets and then a stack of metallic discs that are all kind of strapped down onto this one unit.
Oh, that's one of my finest ideas ever had. That right there is a boat like any you've ever seen before.
What?
How so?
Well, once you get into the river, you take the 4 little beads on top of here, and you situate them underneath there. They are magnets. There's so much metal. There's in all of the rivers and everything like that. And you just push one way, and it will go that way. If you push the other way, it will go that way. Doesn't matter if it's upstream or downstream, and it will gravitate towards the metals that are in the water, and they will push you along, no matter what the riptide is going at.
Well, that seems mighty convenient.
It is.
How much, are we gonna be, owing you for this?
Well, is it a return journey, or are you going forever?
I do believe we'll be returning.
Well, then you just give me my fucking boat back.
That's mighty kind of you.
How about we bring you some of them tomatoes you seem so fond of?
What is your name, sir?
You may call me Mr. Wyatt.
Mr. Wyatt, you bring me some of those tomatoes and I will kiss you on your gobsmacking face, I will.
Oh, well, I mean, there's no need for the affections, but
No,
I do
I'm going
appreciate
to.
the offer. That seems like more of a threat than okay. barring the tomatoes, will a nice loaf of bread do just as a backup?
Oh, you're gonna get me britches if you keep that up.
Not my intent, but I again flattered by the attention. I
I know
am.
something else going up right now.
Goddamn. Well, thank you so much. I'll make sure to bring this back to you in pristine condition.
Oh, lovely. Good to meet you all. Tell Petunia. Oh, no, fucking tell. What the fuck did I name her? Daisy. Tell Daisy she's a gem and thank you for coming this way. Okay, bye.
Oh my God. Wait, not me, wee potatoes. Well, that was pleasant.
Yeah, and
For you, certainly.
you'll
Again?
learn that interacting with people can actually be a good thing.
He was exuberant.
I just like to call them people like that excitable.
Excitable.
It's a breath of fresh air, though.
Oh, it was a breath of something.
I guess you'll be getting more of his breath when we come back.
Well, I mean, it wasn't I wasn't promising him nothing. No offense, obviously, to his taste, but he's just not my type.
You can say no.
I
So I-
just
Give
can't
it a
bend down.
chance.
Well, we got ourselves some transport that'll help us get there. So let's keep on keeping on.
Yeah, can I hear the river? Oh, we got quite a bit of ways till we hit the river.
You do.
We
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
All
I'll
right.
say that kind of distance. Maybe you can make it half if you're really quick before nightfall kind of hits.
Well,
Yeah, we shall
start
skedaddle.
moving.
Let's get
Um,
going.
Are you all right carrying that little strange boat? We could put that in that bag that we got. Who's got the bag?
That's right. I completely forgot that we had that nifty
Bag of
little
holding,
turd.
first episode.
Is it truly a bag of holding, or is it one of those that that are defective?
I believe we would have been told if it was defective.
Well, people lie sometimes.
I do not think
Not
she'd be allowed
Zara,
to,
no.
Or
in a serious situation like this.
I mean, or maybe someone, sometimes things are defective and you're not aware.
And I'm gonna reach into the bag and pull out all of the stuff that was in there and show them to Neff and go like,
See, all good.
Okay. Well, it's always good to double check in case, we put something very crucial and essential and then, we lose it and then, we're stuck walking for like 50 miles and then it's a really long time and then life just like continues on and on.
yeah, we're
As
just
she's
doing it.
continuing it
God.
on.
You're the cult.
Yeah. As she rambles, Wesley's gonna pull out his guitar and just start strumming along to the rambling.
It becomes like beat
The
poetry.
moment you start strumming onto the guitar, Neff's eyes go like, those like the anime glimmer. That's what happens to Neff's eyes, and then she just stops talking and she's staring at you. That's it. And she
Wesley's gonna
shut me
keep
up.
walking, but still playing a bit. It's just a basic string. It's not even really a song, but I appreciate your enthusiasm.
So talented.
Mighty kind of you. I do believe that I have some learning to do.
Who taught you?
Believe it or not, the ocean.
That's fascinating.
You know what they say, when you put a shell to your ear, you hear the ocean? Well, I've learned to hear different tunes and tones that come from it.
I look forward to hearing many more from your talented fingers.
I think you need to be double checking what you're about to say before you say it.
Did I say the word talented wrong? I believe it was
No, it's the
talented.
way you're phrased.
Talented?
It is talented, but your phrasing.
Oh, but you do
You need to be-
finger your lute or your guitar,
My
correct?
guitar, I strum it.
But you do.
The guitar.
I see you using your fingers.
Over the
act is
whole,
called-
yes.
The act is called strumming,
Jesus.
not
Is fingering wrong?
Depends on who's involved, if you got consent, and what the situation is.
So you have much experience fingering, Wesley.
Strum
Oh,
yourself to
I
heaven.
Just
believe
himself.
They referred to me one time as a man whore.
Oh, so you know all
Yes.
about fingering.
That's
That's
very
exactly
coarse
why I
language.
brought up phrasing.
Hi, chat room. How you doing? You enjoying yourself? You know, with enough time away from these folks, you sometimes forget what you've signed up for. And then you get into the thick of it and you're like, oh shit, here we go again.
This dialogue is
Look.
100% enabled by chat. Thank you. chat.
Look, I went from playing one of the most uptight characters. I'm gonna have a little fun.
Oh my god, the leash is off.
The leash is off. I got charisma now, baby.
You're risen.
So, as we walk, Wesley's gonna be kind to keep an eye out on the surroundings, but it's just walking off to the side, slightly ahead, just strumming along.
Fingering along.
Strumming. If you want some fingering, you just gotta ask. You gotta ask politely. Don't know if you know
It's
what
been
that
a
is,
while.
It's been a while.
though.
How you doing? It's not
Yeah.
because Nagaheim was a virgin that Asta is. Jeez.
Who's Nagaheim?
I
The
believe
voice
that's
in my
the-
head.
Oh.
God damn it.
So if you guys could point on the map, what part
I
of
love
the
you,
river
Xander.
were you guys going for?
Wait. Oh yeah, that's right. I can click to the map.
Yeah.
We're coming from. Wait, where is it again? I lost
We
where I am.
started at Marbaldor.
Yeah.
So I think.
Fred, if you hold down your right click, or sorry, your left click, yeah.
I
So you
think
guys are
we-
bound there.
Like Wesley would be suggesting, like just diagonal, not
Yeah.
vertical over.
Yeah. So where Ari's clicking there. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if you want me to roll survival for it, I will, but I'm pretty handy with a map and the land.
For sure. For sure. Tell you what, I'll hold off on that for direction wise. Because I think with everybody, I can assume like you guys are various, so you have a good sense of like direction and everything like that from what I can gather. You made it this far, so so I'll say you're coasting along, pretty good time, but about halfway between Marboldor and that one bump in the river there where Arya was kind of clicking on, you get about halfway to there before nightfall sets in, and you might risk a little bit if you travel any further than this tonight.
Yeah, folks, unfortunately, if none of you has any fire torches or anything like that, I'm gonna have to bed down for the night. I can't barely see a damn thing in this dark. It is black as
Oh,
molasses.
that's right. I forget that humans cannot see in the dark.
In any case, it's probably not safe to get on the water.
Well, we're nowhere near the water, and we can still walk a bit.
It's true.
I mean,
some people
I'll
need
be
to sleep.
stumbling in the dark.
And I'm just gonna cast Thaumaturgy. Oh wait, I can't cast a flame. I can cause flames. I'm gonna see what I can do. Maybe I can do something.
I do believe we should just bed down
Yeah,
for the
no, I
evening
can't.
and
Yeah.
get an early start in the morrow.
Yeah, I'll be
Same
honest with y'all. My trotters are killing me. I wouldn't mind taking these boots off and airing out my footies for a little bit.
If you insist. And she just throws like a longing look towards the night sky.
And I don't know about you, but I prefer to get my 8 hours in.
Don't elves meditate for 4 hours?
The elves are just built different.
Oh. Well, what do you know?
Before
Oh,
anyone can even offer, Wyatt is already making camp, getting small sticks for the fire, adjusting rocks to make sure the fire is contained,
Make
taking out
that
his
survival
bedroll.
check.
Boom! Thank you!
Yep.
Sorry, I keep closing my sheet.
It's all good.
I'm getting to know everything new. That's not great.
14. That's decent.
Not bad. It's
Yeah.
not bad. It's not bad.
Again, knowing how all of you guys arrived here, I'm assuming you've done this enough times, so it's probably going to be a low DC for like camp stuff. So that's really good actually. So you have your gear set up, you have your bags and everything, which all can go in the bag of holding as well. So you guys aren't like weighed down by that as you know, something to think of. Yep, fire is set up to keep you guys warm. If you have any snackage that you want to eat before you go to bed, if there's anything you want to do or talk about before you want to go to bed, otherwise we can say who is taking first watch and all that jazz.
I can take first watch. I know makes it easier for everyone to fall asleep with a little bit of music, so I'll aid y'all with that. I have the yeah, exactly.
Wyatt walks off into the bush with nary a word.
Just a handful of leaves.
Oh, nettles.
I think
And
that's
short-
Ivy.
Shortly comes back with a dead rabbit. And proceeds to, like Red Dead Redemption.
Yep.
Skins it in one go, sets up a spit, starts roasting that bad boy.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Asta's gonna wander off like a fair way away, like a fair amount of distance away from the campfire, and she's just gonna like set the bag of holding onto the ground, and then like as if by magic, like her tent's gonna float out and then seemingly pitch itself. And it's like a pretty extravagant tent. Like it's fairly like think Baldur's Gate 3 camps, like where everyone has their little tent and like rugs and like nice, lanterns, and like it's like glamping, she's in glamping mode. And like as all of that unfolds, she's just kind of like sitting on a rock nearby, reading her tome, making notes, looking to the stars, making notes, and at this point is like just ignoring all of you.
If you do look over, you'll see Wyatt kind of looking and like just kind of like interested, and then the big mustache goes up if he catches you looking, or yeah, if he sees you looking at him, smiling at you.
Yeah,
Just
she'll give you a wink and then go back to her studies.
Wesley's gonna unroll a bed. No tent.
Yeah, same thing.
And
Anybody
Neff?
fancy some leg of this rabbit?
I'll take a leg. I'm not one to shy away from free food.
And Wyatt, as you say that, the leg you're holding, like as if someone like snatches out of your hand, like it just like whoop, and then levitates all the way back to Asta, and she just grabs it and starts munching on it, never taking her eyes off the book.
And a
Miss.
social
Thank
statement.
you.
Many welcomes. Miss Bloom, do you fancy a bit of rabbit?
Oh, I'll have some. Yes, thank you.
Both legs are taken. I'm afraid it's going to be the breast for you and me.
Look, I'm used to eating raw fish, so any cooked meat's always a nice change. Can't say I've had rabbit, so I don't have a preferred part. But thank you for getting this and cooking it up for us.
Yeah, of course. What I do.
After eating, Wesley will go back to strumming the guitar. Not a sea shanty, but just
They
soft,
have been begging for it.
a soft hymn. And I'll be on for first watch.
Okay. I'll get you to make a perception check. I'm tempted to give you disadvantage, but I won't.
That's why I'm not playing a song though. It's just strumming like passively, like
Right.
What your idle
Practicing
hands
fingering.
do. Strumming. That's a 17.
Excellent. All right. Well, for the first leg of this watch, nothing too terrible going on. Who's up next?
No one volunteered before.
I'll go.
Oh, well, I was gonna pick you anyway. So, Wesley gets up and gives a little nudge. He goes, "If you don't mind, I need at least 6 hours, so take over for a little bit before passing it off. That would be great."
I keep watch.
Excellent. Let's get that perception check.
I will open my sheet. And then I will click on perception. Eight!
Ooh.
Why it's snoring
Woohoo!
like your grandpa. It's drowning everything out.
So, Neff, I think with all the excitement of everything that has been going on lately, well, especially today, even with someone who seemingly has just an abundance of energy, you feel drained. And after just a touch of that sweet, sweet sleep space that you were taken out of for your time to do the watch, you feel your eyelids calling back to that sweet little dream you're having, hearing that soft music, and you just kind of feel your head find a comfortable little nook. And you see that singer serenading you so elegantly. And as they catch your eyes, they walk up to you. Tilt your chin up towards them. And you are wide awake now as you feel breath on the back of your neck. And that's where we'll pick up next time. Woo! All right.
Everything is okay.
I'm okay.
Everything is fine.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the first episode of our brand new campaign. We're going to be trying a new kind of scheduling this year, or this campaign, I should say, where we're going to be doing 3 sessions in a row and having 1 week off, just so all of us can kind of regain our sanity a little bit, and some of us can catch up with writing. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're good to go next Sunday, but the following Sunday, we're taking it off, actually.
Yes.
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 So following the 20th, we'll be back on that 3 on, 1 off kind of schedule. That may change as well because life kind of happens that way, but we're going to try and stick to that as best we can because we want to get into this story as quickly as possible, and I've got so many crazy things to show off for you guys. So I'm pretty stoked.
No. You can also join our Discord.
Yes.
Which it's not the busiest Discord in the world, but there's a lot of lovely people who like to share their miniatures,
Mhm.
talk about their own games, as well as we
Share
do keep
your
you up-
art,
Share your pets.
pets,
Share your art, share your
arts,
pets, give
chat,
us it all.
yap about your own D&D games.
Please.
And most
Indeed.
importantly, stay up to date on our schedule if ever it changes.
Yes.
Thank you. Exactly.
Right on.
Because we got busy lives, but we love this very, very much.
Mhm. So thank you again, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for the raiders who popped in there. Thank you for each and every one of
awesome.
you who are chatting in the chat room. Even if I can't follow the conversation, it is so encouraging just to see everybody like hyping us up and like enjoying the craziness that we come up with during this whole escapade. And with that, we shall see you next Sunday, as we always like to say at the end of
Oh my
our.
god, Xander, are we
What?
sitcom arch and nemesis?
Oh my god, I think we are. Oh my god.
Yes.
Hey! We're being professionals here. What do we say at the end of our show?
Have
Your
sex
my
sex.
God.
condoms.
Finger your guitars.
Finger your guitars.
Fingering is fun.
Strum yourself.